Well, hello my dears, this is Sarah from sheholdsdearly.com, and it is the last portion of our slipcover and upholstery series. I'm going to show you how to slipcover a recliner. So we've already covered replacing the foam, covering the footrest, covering the arms, and those sections are all transferable to other projects. So covering the footrest is great information for covering dining room chairs or maybe an ottoman. Oh, I also have a video on how to make custom piping. The video where I show you how I put all that together for the arm will translate into other types of upholstery, simple upholstery projects. So today I'm going to finish up by telling you about doing the back of the recliner and then the seat of the recliner. And I'll show you what I'm dealing with right now. You're gonna use the same process that we used on the arms. So you're gonna lay a strip of fabric and you're gonna put it face down over the wings. Okay, so I made this slipcover years ago and I'm really only replacing the seat because here's what the seat looks like at this point. But the back is holding up just fine. So follow the same directions that I give in the armrest for making the wings and adding in that pipe, this piece of piping that goes all the way around. For the back, I have two large pieces of fabric and I hem them and then they cross over each other, and I added some big buttons for interest, but I have some nice big snaps that actually hold it into place. So the piece that I want to focus on now is actually the seat. And it seems simple, and some people think that you could have two pieces, so one that covers the back and then one that fits over the seat. That might work on your recliner. Mine is not that simple because there's a bunch of detail in the back that needs to be thought through, and so it's not just a simple like cover for the seat because you need to attach it to these back sections. I left this on. I was gonna just seam rip it and put it together, but I kind of wanted you to see where I was going with this. So you're gonna need a strip of fabric, and it is hemmed, but we do that last. You're gonna need a strip of fabric that goes down the side between the arm and the seat, and you need two pieces for that. And then make it go all the way to the back corner so that you can attach it to the back. You are gonna wanna leave kind of a loose pouch, and we'll figure this out as we go along, but when I originally made this back is one huge piece of fabric, huge rectangle that came all the way from the top of the back all the way down underneath this seat here. And I do think it is good to have this extra piece because, look at this, you tuck it back in and then it holds in place nicely. So we'll get into more detail on that in a little bit here. Right now I'm just gonna seam rip these side sections out, and I'm going to then cut like this piece half off, and then we'll need 3 pieces of fabric. So 2 for the sides and 1 over the seat. And when I do that, I also want to take off this finished back and turn it inside out because I'm going to be pinning onto it and then stitching onto it. Okay, let me do the seam ripping. All right, so I have taken off the torn part and the sides, and I've flipped the slipcover around so it's inside out, and now I can begin to add in these pieces. So we're gonna have a piece that covers the seat and then comes down, wraps around, like curls under right there. So I'm just gonna cram it down. And just like before, we are going to take the pins and start drawing the line where we're gonna stitch. Okay, now I have not addressed this piece right here, which actually, see how it's open and it's gonna be a raw edge? We're gonna want to roll that. It doesn't look very good, but we're gonna roll that and hem it when we get to the machine on both sides. So then I have this seat. Now, it just depends. I think that I would make this whole back and seat one piece if your chair is like mine because of the sides. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to hem them together and make that loose flap that will tuck back in and will help hold it tight on the back. Now I'm going to just pen the other side like I did this one. We're getting close. For this very front piece, I'm just gonna cut a flap and yeah, let's see, how much is that? Let's cut like 3 inches below the cushion. And then that gives me a little hem and we're gonna tuck it under. All right, I'm gonna go stitch all this stuff and then we're gonna hem it along the bottom and put it back on and it's ready. I'm popping back in. I kind of got confused with this big pile of fabric as I was sewing. And so I decided to not mess with these edges right here. I needed to see them again. I had a couple pins fall out and I was getting intimidated. So I stitched along the edge of the cushion and along the back. And now I'm just trying it on for size. One thing I didn't say earlier was that you do want to trim along. I should have done that before I actually took it off and went to the sewing machine. So once you've got your pins in place, come along with some good fabric scissors and take off fabric. I would leave like a 1/2 inch minimum along the edge of those pins, and that will make it easier when you get to the sewing machine. So now what I'm gonna figure out is these little weird side corners down here, and then just where I want to hem along the bottom, and we'll be done. All right, let's take a look at these corners and then I'll show you how to do the hems along the bottom. I feel like I wouldn't want to cut this anymore. I think what I'll do is actually just roll this over and hem both of these, and it's all gonna get tucked back in there in that crease anyway. But let's look at this side. This one was really confusing because I didn't cut that arch right there. I think I'll do that right now. Okay, when I do the bottom hem, which is the last step on a slipcover, I pretty much put a pin all the way around where I want the hem to finish. I need more than the line where the pin is, because I'm gonna roll this up like this and then stitch it. It's gonna go around and I'm gonna draw a line with my pins. Where do I want the hem to finish? It is really difficult to get down in between, you know, the edge of the seat and the arm to pin it. So pin as much as you can, do, you know, the front and the back, and then I'm just gonna draw a line and stitch straight across, and it will work out. All right, we are all done. I found some really cute velvet pillow covers that were less than $10 each, and they have the pom-poms on them. I'm gonna link these because I'm super excited about these. Got them on Amazon. So those are cute. we're finally done with the slipcover series, and now's a good time for me to explain the care and keeping of your slipcovers. So I wash my slipcovers maybe once a month, and if I, during that time, am feeling like there's a spot, like dog print or something that I want to cover up for company, I will put a throw blanket over the arm, or I will add in a throw pillow. I actually do keep throw pillows on my slip-covered recliners because the corners are kind of weird where we cut that little cutout is. So I always have pillows, but I will add a blanket if I'm feeling like it's not presentable. So that's one thing to get you through. Then when it is time to wash them, I like to use OxiClean and Mrs. Meyer's laundry soap. That's my normal soap, is Mrs. Meyer's. I don't ever use bleach on mine. I might spray them with a stain remover, but other than that, it's OxiClean and my Mrs. Meyer's. And then, this is a slipcover hack for you. Don't dry them completely in the dryer. Sometimes I'll actually put them on completely wet. So if you put them on damp, it forms them, and then they dry in that shape that you want them in, like the shape of the arm or something, and the wrinkles smooth themselves out because it like shrinks down just a tiny bit. So I try not to dry my slipcovers and then put them on. I at least have them damp and I put them on and let them dry like a half a day. So if I'm wanting to smooth them out, or maybe they did get put in the dryer and I don't want to iron them, trying not to ever iron slipcovers for my recliners, but I will just spray them with water and either put them back in for a little bit in the dryer, or just, you know, spray them with water and then put them on the chair and let them dry that way. Other things that I've heard from white slipcover owners is that they don't wear shoes in the house, so people aren't like putting their shoes up on the footrest when they put them up, and they don't allow their family to eat in their slip-covered furniture. So those would be good ideas too. I kind of bend both of those rules and still am happy enough. So, all right, so if you like doing DIY projects, I am going to point you to my subscriber library, and you can get that link in the description below. And it gives you a password and you have access to a whole bunch of DIY projects, to tutorials. There's a quiz in there, there's 3 ebooks, and you can have access to those by checking out the link below. So thank you so much for stopping by. And if you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I do post regularly and I share my DIY design advice and our vintage farm life. All right, take care and I'll talk to you soon.